Allah, in the name of Him, the most beneficent, the most merciful. My name is Gabriel Morton, and my Iranian name is Ali Reza Jafarpur, and I want to publish for the first time my book inside YouTube, and this is the part 4 from session 1. The book I named The Power of Ramadan, or Seeing by Eyes of the God, or Seeing via God's eyes. That was uh, my first spiritual experience. That was when I was 14 years old, and about 21 years later, I had over 2000 out of body experience. Uh, so I want to continue the text of the book, part 4 from chapter 1. 2016, 19 days of the Ramadan is past. I am about 35 years old. However, I was addicted to alcohol and opium at the same time, but I was still single and virgin, jobless and poor those times, and I was changed from a very religious man to very indifferent Muslim. However, I was Muslim at the when I was 35 years old, but I changed because I traveled outside of the country and I visited many people from every corner of the world, and I drank with them and enjoyed life. But I was, as I told, never had sexual relationship. So that was because I was read in the I read it in some books that saving sexual power and refuse to do any sexual acts will help you to have more religious experiences, especially about astral projections. You need to save your sexual energy. Uh, Also, my eagerness about having more and more astral projections that was inside me and motivate me to read more and do more practice. Uh, However, I was a little depressed those times, and this depression that was because all of my efforts in every subject and every field that was fruitless. My family, they hated me because of my way in my life, and so I didn't live based on their interest. So um, they always doesn't wanted to visit me, so that was great trouble for me those times. As I told, my first religious spiritual experience that made me very eager and zealous, and I was so determined about future. I had great goals. These great these great extra ordinary perceptions happened for me, as I told, until age of 35. I passed over 2000 uh, make soul outside of body or astral projections. If you want any resources about more education, and if you want to do research, please go and find astral projection books. I was thinking always that maybe I am chosen by God to do some great aims and make great changes in the world. And now I I determined and I have purpose to make happiness and welfare for all of the peoples in the world, because if they live in welfare, they will have opportunity to do research about the unknown perceptive or perception ways for all of the human being, and this the new researches and discoveries will help human beings to live better and better and make a peace, permanent peace for all of the nations and all of the countries. I considered my first transcendental perception. I am looking for a good word. Transcend, transcendental perception, extraordinary perception, something that is beyond of the ordinary perception. I am looking a good word for the next time that I really want to publish by paper books and paper book publishers. I will change this word to and find better expression and better word for this sentence. I am looking for salvation and solution for all of the problems for humankind. Those times I was a little dizzy when I was about 35 years old, but now I am 41 and I have clear goals, clear purpose and aims for not just for myself but also for all of the human beings. Welfare, salvation, health, and happiness for all of the nations without any bias about religions, and be a true humanistic man who want to be servant for all of the peoples. Sometimes as a sign from Almighty God or Almighty Allah, I think for myself some apostleship or some divine mission for myself. Maybe these struggles and these tryings maybe leads to redemption and freedom from any pain and poverty, and help people to get rid of miserable life. For everybody in the world, we want best, and this is the philosophy of the Gabrielism that I started about 1 month ago, and you see YouTube series under name Gabrielism. Gabrielism is a new viewpoint, a new vision, a new philosophy of the actions and behavior and practice for all of the human being, and without any biases between rich and poor, any without any biases between race and nationality without any biases between men and women, and other biases that we know, like cultural biases and everything that separate me from you and you from others. We want to make union, and we want to make United Nation in practice. So anybody feel brotherhood and sisterhood with each other, so be servant to all of the human being. This is the purpose of the Gabrielism philosophy. Not only give you an ultra vision about about religions, about the philosophy of life, give you purpose, and give you feeling positive about yourself, that you are a good, a positive man or woman who want to build better, new, better world, and we new, better conditions for all of the peoples who live on Earth. So that time, that was uh, about 21 or 22 years passed from my first spiritual experience, and all of my efforts until those times that was fruitless, and I didn't made the changes that I thought that is necessary for all of the nations. So uh, this made me so disappointed those times, even disappointed from God. And I saw a lot of signs about existence of the God, and a lot of signs that God really want to protect me and support me. But when I saw all of my struggles didn't make so much change that I expected, I was disappointed, not just only from my homeland people, not just only from all of the nations, but also I was absolutely disappointed from God, and I felt so much depressed those times. I was apathetic and indifferent, and so my eagerness and enthusiasm faded, and uh, and I was uh, sometimes feeling useless, feeling useless for all of the humankind and for my family. So I tried to go outside of the country and live in far village, far from my family, and I spent a few years those times in other countries than Iran. So I changed during these years. However, I had a spiritual experience once a week, twice a week, 20 times a week sometimes, but I didn't had any respect to all of the religions, included my religion, that I was born in some family that was very religious and is very religious Shiite. I was I can't say I hated religious, but I was very indifferent, and so the religions has had not those times any use and meaning. Any religions, included Christianity and Hinduism and Buddhism, that those times at the beginning of the maybe when I was 14 or 15 years old, I was so eager to know the religions and the benefits that we can take from religions. But when I arrived at the age of 35, I was absolutely indifferent, and I tried to motivate myself by using alcohol and opium. Uh, I started using opium and alcohol, and I was addicted to both. And I thought that is the only shelter for me to keep myself safe from the heavy and shattering uh, crushers attacks. Maybe alcohol and drugs can keep me safe from heavy and shattering and crushing attacks of the depression and despairiness. So I continued to using alcohol and narcotics all together, and tried always to forget whatever happened for me during the past years. But I never tried to use sexual relationship, and I saved my virginity because I thought I thought that I must continue this way and save sexual power for future and more spiritual experiences, because sexual power and sexual energy is uh, the the fuel of the jet, the fuel of the missile or rocket, uh, that everybody, if want to be more achieved in a spiritual path, if he want or she want to have real out of body experience far from body, he or she has to save sexual power and try never do sexual relationship or make it at least as possible, because if you have enough sexual enough sexual power or sexual energy, you can go more distance far from your body. At the separation of the soul from body, you can go further. So that is the fuel for your spiritual being, that is the fuel for astral being, that is the fuel for your soul, that your soul consume this energy that you never used during every day, every night, every week. Most of the people waste their energy in the repeating sexual relationship, but somebody who keep it inside his or her body has enough fuel to go more and more distant, far from a physical body, so he or she will be able to have amazing discovery, because he or she is able to send his or her own consciousness out of even galaxy, like similar happening that happened in my amazing outside of body experience. That is now that that is 11 o'clock at morning in the day of the 19th of Ramadan. That is about 11 o'clock at morning. I went to sleep when I was 35 years old, and now I am 41, about 41. That was about 6, 7 years ago. At 11 o'clock, I went to go asleep, and that was 19 night and days is past from Ramadan, and that is the day of martyrdom of the first Lord of Shiite, or first Imam of Shiite, or the last Caliph of Sunni Muslim people. That is the day of the martyrdom, and that is 11 o'clock at morning. And I went to do some sleeping inside holy Ramadan. I knew that as the best way to forget myself is sleeping, and most of the time drinking alcohol even inside Ramadan helped me go to sleep. So sometimes when I was assaulted by huge attack of the mind attacks, my mind was very busy and wanted to make me crazy. I choose to go to sleep by using any devices, included alcohol or some drugs. So I wanted just to escape from a smashing bad assault of the different worries. So I went to the sleep, and after a few minutes, uh, that was past from 11 o'clock at morning, I found myself flying about 100 meters above the roof of my house. Uh, I passed from the roof, and I was about 100 meters far from my house, and I could see any people from above in our street. Then, then another time, I ascended to the outside of solar system. Another time, I ascended time outside of solar system. This time that was day that my first experience, that was when I was 14 years old. After 2000, more than 2000 experience, this is uh, this is new experiences, and I am 35 years old. I passed from roof, and then I ascended, and even go outside of the solar system. That was not just similar to my first experience, my first astral travel or astral projection that I described for you at the beginning of the book. And the that I go a little more slow than the first experience. This time, my travel is not like rocket, like so quick, like the first experience. I felt that I feel all of the all of the things that was surrounded me when I ascended. I really feel all of the surrounding things. So I can say this travel was not similar to first travel that just happened less than 1 minute. This time I was 15 minutes I was traveling. So after I was in other world, after going outside solar system, I couldn't see any galaxy or any star. I was this time in another world, similar that something, for example, you passed around tunnel and travel to other world that is absolutely different from our physical world, and that is absolutely and you can't see anything similar to our physical world. This time, when I went outside a solar system, I was in other world. This world that was very very different from our ordinary world, that we could and we would know astrophysically. So nothing that was not the common cosmos that you see in the books, in the internet, all things that was very, very different uh, in that different place that I want to say something, maybe some we have some hole outside of this is my message from this experience. Maybe we have some tunnel. If we go outside of solar system, there is some tunnel that make us possible to go to other world, to other parallel world. We have to do more research. So I am eager about making a James Webb second telescope and third telescope, and I proposed dear Elon Musk to make some telescope that will go and install in the axis of the solar system, because we want to go beyond the relativistic frames that make limitation for us. So if we travel and install a great James Webb in the axis of the rotation of the solar system, maybe we can find the tunnel to other world, and that is theoretically proven for me, not just by a spiritual experience. That is theoretically proven for me if we send some spacecraft, and if we send some devices like a very very huge telescope, and install this telescope in the axis of the rotation above sun, far above sun, we can recognize and we can discover the hidden tunnel that can help us using this tunnel to go to the some parallel world. And that is I have my own theory, and even mathematic formula that help us how to travel to parallel physical world and use the hidden tunnel that they are not recognizable for us until we are captured inside a relativistic prison of space time that keep us in the prison as long as we be able to make a spacecraft and go beyond the solar system. In this case, we will free from a space time that a special space time that is belonged to solar system. So that would amazing discovery if we go there and find this tunnel to other parallel physical worlds that I sure this parallel world existed, because I sent it before my consciousness in those parallel physical worlds. Let me finish this experience. This physical world that I sent at the age of 35, I sent my consciousness there. That was full of valleys, similar the valleys that you see in Mars. In Mars, if you see a lot of dried valley without any plant, and that valleys filled with melted iron. Melted iron that was similar to rivers that was inside those valleys. I found myself in another, after that, after going and passed from planet by planet, I found some I see that was those board was full of planet, different planet with different, very different from solar system planets, and that was icy planet. The planet was full of ice instead of soul, and instead of sands, that was full of ice, those planets, and I traveled and passed from both. One planet was full of melted iron, and I don't know iron, but maybe another things, for example, some another metallic things, but the beside planet was full of ice, and all of things made from ice. The mountains, the valleys, everything was icy. But you know that the soul can't feel and can't feel heatness or coldness. So for asteroid travelers, I want to say they will say you the same. You can't feel anything about heatness or coldness. Just you can visit. This is ice, and this is, for example, melted, some metallic melted things. I passed from these, and uh, let me, we don't have enough time, so I want to finish at 33. I was in another strange world. Some voices from nowhere told me these things is the word of the souls and dead scientists. After that I passed from the icy and passed from the melted iron. I arrived to some place that some strange voices told me. I couldn't understand from nowhere. Some strange voice said me that is the cemetery of the scientists. That is the that place that all of the scientists live together. The soul of all of the scientists. I just knew that I am in the world that is belonged to died scientists, and I choose the corridor that helped me to go beside the died physicist. Keep here, and I will continue in the next session.